Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Theorist, here with your host, JC 67, aka Vanity Pride. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I know I did, because I finally got a hold of my Tower of God figurines that I was waiting on. I actually posted pictures of them yesterday on all my social media accounts, so you can go check those out there. And I'm also considering including a little video clip where I showcase my figurines after this review, so you have that too. Anyway, we're jumping right into Season 2, Episode 269 of Tower of God. And we start off with the Seed. So, that little girl, Medley, who is Battis's daughter, she's still hanging around with Viol, who is knocked out. So, they're not really concerned about her getting hurt or anything. Especially because it's not even her sworn enemy, right? So, anyway, these, dog-like robot guards are basically saying that he's knocked out for a few days, based on that gun that Battis shot him with. And, you know, you can already sense something is off. It's like, knocked out for a few days, huh? You guys will see later on. So anyway, we move on to the bigger group, Bomb, Andrasi, Battis, and Coffee Addict. And Coffee Addict and Battis are basically telling Bomb and Andrasi that they found a potential exit out of this quarantine area. And Coffee Addict specifically says that he feels that Bomb can break through the door. Like, they haven't tested out the door yet, but they trust that Bomb will be able to, get them through it. And they have two options. So there is a long way, which will take a full day before they can reach that door to exit out of this fruit of good and evil, right? The quarantine area. Or there is a shortcut which takes, I think 3/4 of the day or something like that. But there are risks involved with that because those bejeweled soldiers could show up in that passageway. And so, they would fight them off. They'd be okay, but it's still a bit of a risk. But they have enough time to go the long way. And then according to Coffee Addict, he's saying that heroes usually unlock the grand quest within a week. Well, in a week's time. And it's so funny because Coffee Addict just has to brag and be like, oh, sometimes there's geniuses like me that complete it within 2 days. But he's pretty sure it'll take Bomb's friends longer. So anyway, we move on to the town of Wandering Minstrel. And I have to pause on this picture, okay? Because freaking Kun and that girl have the same hairstyle. It's really funny to me. There's a little bit of a difference, more fluffy hair on her end, plus like a hair clip with plants. And then this monster thing beside them just reminded me of a mashup of the Minions from Despicable Me, Mike from Monsters, Inc., and then freaking, I don't know, a bowling pin. He kind of has that body shape. So that's the mashup that created this monster. It is a love child of all those things. So he's the quest scroll manager, and his name is Young. I may be pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. So anyway, he's telling Kun, hey, go ahead and pick whichever quest you want. The higher the level that you choose, the more difficult it'll be. So just be careful. And it's pointed out that Kun has completed a lot of the level E quests already. So then that Wandering Minstrel girl, she's like, oh, why don't you try a D level? And he's just like, hell nah, because he's a cocky-ass bastard, right? I mean, he's a beautiful cocky-ass bastard. So he's like, let's do a level C quest because it'll get them to the grand quest much faster, right? That's his end goal. Let's just pause on his face right here, though. See that grin that he has, that cocky, beautiful confidence that he's got, because he's got this shit, right? So upon the opening of the scroll, it's an image of an octopus, right? And then, of course, this octopus, car hybrid shit pops up on top of a building in this town. And the reason why I call him a car octopus hybrid is because the sound that he makes is a honk. And I'm like, boy, are you a car? Like, what the fuck? So anyway, this octopus, there's a whole story behind him. It turned out he was raised by a previous hero, and then he became a monster somehow, and now he's like a king, and his name is Octopus Kim. So it's just like this crazy shit that's going on. And it's so funny. This lady is so passionate about his name being Octopus Kim. And then you can just see the look on Sachi and Kun's face, like, what the fuck? I think that's pretty much how we all are right now. So, of course, they're facing off with this octopus dude. He releases ink, which is starting to flood the town. And, of course, Kun is able to shield himself and Sachi from, you know, any effects of this ink. But it turns out that Enacor cannot be activated without Beta being there. And of course, Beta is probably somewhere else on this hidden floor. Who knows where the heck he ended up at. But it really had me questioning. I'm like, okay, I could understand, I guess, if Avon wasn't there, because he's the one who taught Kun how to activate, how to use Enacor, but somehow Kun still needs Beta to be there. Again, I might have to, you know, read back and see where that's stated, where the whole, like, Beta thing comes into play, because I don't remember that, but if you guys know, please leave a comment, feel free, but I will definitely do some research into that. But it's just really weird, because Beta didn't have to teach him any of that, so I don't know. But anyway, this frickin' big breeder, the one from last time who had Rachel, I'm pretty sure it's the same one. He purposely increases the difficulty of this level. Like, Kun is struggling to hold back this octopus's attack. But the big breeder's like, oh, well, I'll increase the level of difficulty. So I'm like, boy, are you, like, secretly working behind Zahar's back and working with Rachel? Because, I mean, we've seen Rachel tried to kill Kun at the hand of Arlen, right? So I'm like, okay, what difference would it be if she's not trying to attempt that again now? I honestly doubt he's working with Rachel. I mean, who knows? We don't see any bit of Rachel in this chapter whatsoever. But I'm pretty sure it's all Zahar. I mean, we saw him last chapter when, not that he was concerned, but he wants to eliminate, like, all these people, I guess. Of course, again, they're all, like, threats to the tower in essence, like I've said before. But it's also because that mirror, the one who sent them to all these different places, it's like this whole group wasn't together. Like, they just got sent to other places. And so he's trying to do something about it. Zahar is. And in the end of this part with Kun and Co., the frickin' octopus manages to break through the lighthouse barrier. So we don't know what's going to happen to them. Clearly, I think Kun will be okay. They'll figure something out. Hopefully the Wandering Minstrel can kind of jump in and do something about it, if anything. But yeah, we won't know until next chapter what happens with them. So the rest of the chapter revolves around Baum and Co. So Baum is saying that he would prefer to take the shorter way than the longer way. His reasoning being that his friends could reach this grand quest in equal or lesser time to what Coffee Addict was able to do, which really impresses Coffee Addict. But I mean, you think about it, and Baum even mentioned these names as well, Sachi and Kun are pretty powerful characters. And, you know, seeing the ambition that Kun had in pursuing that level C quest, I mean, it would be no surprise, honestly, if he was able to complete the grand quest in less than a week. So anyway, turns out that Viol suddenly wakes up because there's like a crash thing that happens here. And they're all like, oh, yep, that's Viol. And dude, he's like a menacing little fuck. If you look at this picture, look at him gripping that robot's head. Like, boy. You know, when I saw that, I was like, ooh, that little girl was with him. Like, is she okay? Like, what happened, right? I mean, turns out she's fine, so no worries there. But damn, Viol is determined as fuck to eliminate Bomb, and I guess anyone who stands in his way. I mean, you just saw that image of him right there. So, if that wasn't enough, right? Frickin' there's this drill that's breaking through the ceiling of the seed. I didn't mention this earlier, but earlier in the chapter, they did mention that the seed is like the safest place for them, Battis and Coffee Addict and Battis's daughter, because the soldiers can't get into that area. But somehow, it turns out that they were able to get through, to penetrate into this seed, right? Because the robots showed up. And Coffee Addict suspects that it's the big breeders behind it all, which makes total sense. I mean, we just saw moments ago that, you know, the frickin' octopus, his level of power got increased, and it was enough to break the lighthouse barrier, like Kuhn's lighthouse barrier. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me that, you know, these robots gained more power and were able to break into the seed. So, you know, all the rest of the group is going to face off with these robots while Bomb is going to handle Viol. And the chapter ends with Bomb telling Viol, hey, this is enough. If you hurt anybody else, you won't be forgiven. Oh, his exact words are, I'll never forgive you. My bad. But anyway, that marks the end of the chapter. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next week. I'm trying to think of any potential theories I have. I mean, aside from the big breeders, not so much. I'm really hoping to see Rachel in one of these upcoming chapters and definitely get a flashback as to how she got caught. So that's pretty much it. All right, thanks guys. Peace. So as promised, here's a video of my little figurines, starting with Bomb. And then there's Andrassi. And then Kuhn. And Rock. They're really precious. They're smaller than I thought they would be, but they're really well done and they're really beautiful, and I really love the details. Like, I mean, you can see, like, the details of, like, their little props. And then there's, like, a lighthouse behind Kuhn. As I zoom in on his crotch, it almost seems like precious, baby. And then beautiful Andrassi. I really love this green dress. Like, I've grown to love this dress from season 2. Like, I know there's, like, that phone app game that I'm still trying to get a hold of. But, yeah, I love that she has the green dress in that, too. But, yeah, so that was a sneak peek to my little figurines all set up. Because the pictures on this, the pictures on my social media, they didn't have the proper setup yet. So, this is it. Well, thanks, guys. Have a good one.